No demon deserves mercy. Not even you. The words spilled from my mouth before I even realized I was speaking. They echoed through the vast cathedral of broken glass and rusted steel that had once been Himmelstadt's most prestigious genetic research facility. Now, it was a graveyard for abominations. The sky above the city burned a sickly amber, choked by smog belched from the towering monoliths of decayed skyscrapers. The streets were littered with bones, some stripped clean, others still wrapped in shredded muscle that writhed unnaturally. The stench of chemical rot, burned flesh, and wet concrete clung to every breath. Gnarled power lines crackled, their frayed wires sparking like electric veins across the blackened skyline. I stepped over the bloated carcass of one of Karmin's failures, a child-sized hybrid, its tiny arms fused with pulsing, worm-like tentacles. Its mouth still twitched, lined with rows of glassy teeth. The sight stirred nothing inside me. I had seen worse. I had become numb. I am Frieren, and I am no hero. Himmelstadt was once a beacon of hope. That was before the demon cult tore my companions apart, one organ at a time, leaving me buried beneath their shredded corpses. Their laughter had echoed in my ears for years. I had clawed my way from that pit of viscera, swearing one oath: every demon would die by my hand. The trail had led me here, to Dr. Karmin, a man so grotesquely brilliant that even demons feared his work. I stalked his slaughterhouse lab, my cloak brushing against tanks filled with floating, half-formed things. Infantile limbs sprouted from misshapen torsos, twitching against glass as their organs pulsed independently. The air thickened as I entered the core chamber. Steel beams twisted into spires, supporting observation decks where Karmin's assistants, human degenerates with porcelain masks, watched in silence. Some licked their teeth through slits in their masks, as if savoring an unseen feast. And there she was, Raven. Her cloak rippled unnaturally, as though breathing. The gem at her forehead glowed faintly, its pulsing light synchronized with the tremor of power radiating off her. Her hands glowed with swirling shadows that licked up her arms like black fire. "You don't understand," she said, voice calm but strained. "I'm here to stop this. I'm not like them." Her eyes, violet and heavy with sorrow, locked onto mine. But all I could see was the aura, the taint, the demonic stench in her soul. "Demon blood is demon blood," I said coldly, my voice brittle. "Intentions don't cleanse corruption." Karmin's laughter slithered from the overhead speakers. "Oh, how delightful, my two favorite specimens at once. What a prize fight this will be." The overhead lights flickered, revealing the horror above us. Dozens of hybrid experiments hanging from meat hooks, their bodies wriggling in silent agony. Some were still conscious, their milky eyes following our every move, unable to scream through sewn-shut lips. Raven's expression darkened. "You don't have to do this, Frieren. You're letting him win." "I don't care about him," I growled. "I only care about eradicating filth." She hesitated. And that was her first mistake. I moved. My blade sang as it left its sheath, a whisper followed by a shriek of steel meeting steel, as Raven barely summoned a black barrier to deflect my strike. The force rattled the steel platform beneath us. Shards of metal rained down, slicing open the twitching flesh sacks below. "You're insane," Raven gasped, sliding back, tendrils of shadow stabilizing her footing. "I am pure," I whispered, lunging again. This time I struck low, fainting high before slashing across her abdomen. She deflected it with a pulse of force, sending me skidding across the blood-slick floor. The hybrids below shrieked as displaced air burst their malformed lungs. "They're not your friends. They're not your enemies. They're victims," Raven shouted, trying to reason with me. "You don't have to." "Don't speak of victims to me," I screamed. The memory flashed, my companion's organs displayed like trophies, my mentor's head mounted on a spike, his eyes hollowed out. That demon's voice, hissing, You could join us, Frieren. You could taste eternity. I spat blood from my lip where Raven's blast had grazed me. You carry their blood. That is enough. Above us, Karmin's grotesque orchestra continued to watch in silence, their masked heads tilting with sadistic fascination. Raven's face twisted. I can't let you kill me. Her shadows erupted like vipers, snaking toward me with a screech. I sliced through them, each tendril spurting black ichor. One wrapped around my leg, pulling me off balance, slamming me into a steel column. My ribs cracked on impact. Pain lanced through me, sharp and electric. I smiled. Good, I hissed. Fight me properly. We collided again. Her shadows engulfed my blade, trying to twist it from my grip. I countered with a surge of mana, igniting the steel in holy flame. The shadows recoiled, burning away as the flames scorched Raven's hand. She screamed, a shriek of rage and betrayal. I don't want to kill you, she sobbed. But I will if I must. You don't have a choice. Blood splattered the floor as we exchanged blows, steel flashing against raw magic. Every movement sent viscera flying from the slaughtered hybrids around us. Their disjointed limbs crawled across the floor like spiders, mindlessly attracted to warmth. Karmin's voice purred through the speakers. Yes, yes, show me. The dance of purity and corruption. Such artistry. The chamber began to collapse as ruptured tanks spewed clouds of acidic mist. Pipes burst, raining crimson onto us as the hybrids wailed in distorted agony. I feinted left and struck upward, slicing Raven's cheek open. Blood sprayed warm and thick onto my face. Her eyes widened, trembling. Please, she whispered. You're making a mistake. No, I whispered back. I'm fulfilling a promise. Her hesitation cost her. I drove the blade into her side, twisting as it tore through muscle and organ. She screamed, her eyes wide with betrayal, her hands desperately clawing at my arm. I felt her blood pumping hot against my skin. She tried to pull shadows around me, but her focus wavered, her strength fading. You can still stop, she begged. You don't have to. I do. With one final jerk, I tore the blade free and slashed across her throat. The cut was surgical. Raven's voice died in a gurgle as she collapsed, blood pooling beneath her in violent waves. Her eyes met mine, wide, glassy, confusion, sadness, and then silence. The lab burned around me, casting her corpse in a flickering, hellish glow. The hybrids wailed one final time before succumbing to flames. Overhead, Karmin's laughter faded into the distance as his private escape vessel disengaged and shot into the polluted sky. I stood in the carnage, alone, soaked in blood that was not entirely hers. The weight of the moment pressed down like an iron boot on my chest. Yet I felt no regret, only emptiness. No demon deserves mercy, I repeated, my voice hollow. But somewhere deep inside me, a crack had formed. The flames devoured the laboratory, screaming as they consumed the evidence of Karmin's horrors. I staggered toward the exit, my breath ragged, my body trembling from exhaustion. Each step echoed off the steel corridors, accompanied by the groans of bending metal. As I reached the threshold, a sharp voice greeted me from the shadows. You think it's over, Frieren? Karmin emerged, face half burned, his porcelain mask shattered, revealing raw, blistered flesh beneath. His eyes gleamed with unholy excitement. In his hand, a small vial pulsed with dark energy, a sample of Raven's blood. You've done my work for me, he whispered. Her power, combined with my science, will birth something far greater, something you cannot stop. I raised my sword, but my arm trembled. The wound inside me was not physical. You won't live to see it, I rasped. Oh, but I will, Karmin grinned, stepping back into the shadows as a hidden door sealed behind him. Himmelstadt belongs to the future, Frieren, and you are already obsolete. His laughter faded into the humming machinery as the hidden elevator descended into the earth. I stood alone at the doorway, staring into the burning night. The world felt heavier. My hands, stained with Raven's blood, shook with something I had not felt in years: doubt. The crack inside me widened, letting in a cold wind I could no longer ignore.